You guys all know already. It is pumpkin spice season. It is Christian girl autumn. It's officially here. And the journalists have come out to tell us why pumpkin spice lattes are actually perpetuating racism and misogyny and bigotry of all kinds on society. You heard it here first, folks. Pumpkins are actually a symbol of whiteness and white supremacy.
Yeah, it's they're white privilege coded.
Yeah. So firstly,
there's a $20 one here from That Stands Tastic. Says, I don't understand it, y'all. Why hasn't Snow Bunny Hunter why hasn't Snow Bunny Hunter hasn't hit #1 yet on Billboard? Why is the media hiding this classic? I thought it was going to blow up over the weekend. Sadly, I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm not reading the rest of that, my friend. I'm leaving that one alone. But yes, why hasn't Snow Bunny Hunter blown up yet?
It's not catchy.
It's catchy. We need to talk about it. Unfortunately, that wasn't even the segment that blew up over the weekend. It was the segment about the cop.
I was surprised at all of your responses to it, though. So firstly, this article from Level says how racism found a home in pumpkin spice latte culture. Were you aware that there was a pumpkin spice latte culture?
I mean, okay,
as
so
its own insular culture.
I kind of like, I understand the idea. When I think of pumpkin spice latte culture, it's literally what they describe in the article, which is like the black leggings, the Ugg boots, the white,
the chunky knit sweater, with the sweater paws, and you hold the Starbucks cup.
Yeah. And the problem is, why is that a bad thing? Like, why can't that exist?
It's bad because white women like it, and white women are evil.
Look, like I said before, I posted the picture of the pumpkin spice Milano cookies and said, look, what white women in the West, they pretend like capitalism wasn't designed for them, but it was.
This says, to admit that pumpkin spice culture is inundated with whiteness would also require them to acknowledge the existence of a racial hierarchy. And the evidence for this is because the pumpkin spice latte is a luxury item afforded only by white people. And we know that all white people are rich, right? It says, consider that a pumpkin spice latte costs about $5.95 a cup, depending on size and location. That number may vary some, but essentially we are talking about a luxury item that white women with disposable income are much more likely to be able to afford and enjoy.
What we know now, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is actually the boomers who would be talking, because they would be telling these white women, they would say, look, if you want to be able to buy a house someday, maybe you should stop going to Starbucks all the time. Right?
Where's Dave Ramsey in this discussion?
We need Dave Ramsey. Like, I love the Jared Benson, Dave Ramsey like skits that he does, where like it's like anytime a millennial goes and uses a credit card at a fast food restaurant, and Dave Ramsey drives by, and it's like super ominous music. It's like going like this. Like
he feels like a psychic signal. Yeah, it's like a bat signal for Dave Ramsey.
He can tell.
The stereotype of basic essentially fails to acknowledge that the privilege such women and their detractors all actually hold. In other words, it makes sense that white women pushed back against the basic label. No one wants their identity reduced.
Yeah, but they're happy to do it.
I mean, the argument that calling white girls basic for liking PSLs and wearing leggings and Uggs was misogynistic, like that whole argument was stupid in the first place. Like, people get stereotyped for the things that they wear and the things that they eat and the music they listen to all the time. It's not an indicator of
that happened to you at all?
Privilege and power.
That happened to you at all? Is there anything people make fun of you
for? I don't know. I mean, think about girl dinner.
Yes, or girl math is the one people keep making fun of. They turned
struggle meal into girl dinner to make it socially acceptable to eat a plate of random bits and bobs as a meal,
which is fine. But it's
fine. But I mean, it's not misogynistic.
I mean, that's to me that's the same logic. That like what we've done as a society is like we've just figured out ways to make ourselves okay. It's like when. Thank you. About time. Thank you, guys. We're almost done. We're gonna end up ending like 30 minutes early today. We're gonna have to just sit here and shoot the shit. But it's like when we created fidget spinners. Like literally, like we created fidget spinners because we're like our society is anxious and depressed. Instead of fixing the problem, let's just create a toy that lets people manage the symptoms instead of meds.
So this continued. They did so without acknowledging that being able to purchase an expensive cup of espresso regularly is a privilege that many black women and women of color don't have.
And many white women who live in areas that are not rich and well-to-do don't have it either. In the chat, Yesh says girl math. Girl math, Mary, right? It's when a girl goes to Target with $30 and she buys something that costs $30 and she says it's free, because it didn't come out of her bank account.
If you pay for something in cash, it's free.
Yes.
If you have a Starbucks gift card with $3 left on it, you would actually be losing money to not use it on something more expensive.
That is girl math. That's girl math.
And many white women didn't see the whiteness within their love for pumpkin spice lattes because white supremacy is innocuous, which is the point many critics missed. So, if you like anything that you think is just an innocuous hobby or a drink from Starbucks,
it's hiding white supremacy.
White supremacy is hiding under every throw pillow.
And this
from Hobby Lobby.
And that wasn't even the funny article. The funny article is the Level article.
Well, that was the Level article. Okay. The other one is from The Guardian. Yeah. It's called, "This is the season of crunchy leaves, chunky knits, and pumpkin spice latte misogyny." So this is the one arguing that women are unfairly degraded for liking PSLs.
It says, there is a predominantly male tendency to mock the predominantly female enthusiasm for the arrival of spiced orange beverages this time of year. It's derided as basic, along with rhapsodizing about the crunchy leaves, chunky knits, big scarves, new boots, and other seasonal Pinterest board signifiers. Look, that's just, people are going to make fun of you. People make fun of us.
Women are dismissed as vapid, sheep-like materialists, while men who make pour-over coffee that tastes like stomach acid in vessels that wouldn't be out of place in a 17th century alchemist's workshop are discerning, rugged individualists. I hope they're not talking about cast brew.
Sucks to suck, lady. Guess that's not easy. Oh, we have a $20 one here from Your Local Wizard. It says, "Mary, in reference to Columbus Day, have you seen Lauren Southern's post as of
What?
Of leftists saying that if you aren't a Native American, you don't have the right to life?" Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah,
people are awful. People are awful and demonic and kind of evil.
But at least they're showing you their true colors, who they really are,
and Twitter,
what their intentions are.
And Twitter brings out the worst. Twitter/X brings out the absolute worst in people. Mary, do you think that it's, there's like a guy's version, like it's kind of like the meme where the woman posts the picture, the bed on the floor and just the big screen TV and says like, men think it's okay to live like this. Men get made fun of too. Women make fun of men.
Men are able to clap back and say they hate how little it takes for us to be happy. Exactly. Like, whatever happened to playful ribbing between the sexes?
The internet ruined it for everyone.
It really truly ruined playful banter.
Also, these things were like, it's because when you had this type of playful banter, it happened amongst a group of people you had a rapport with and history with. So you could make a joke to a friend who you know your relationship runs deeper than just this conversation. But back then, back then, that was not the norm to have those types of arguments anyways. Now, these arguments happen every day online, and they happen with a bunch of people that you have no shared history with. How do you expect those conversations to go well? It's the same reason why dating advice stuff ends up being, like most of it ends up coming off mean-spirited. We were talking about the over the weekend about the lady who posted the video of like teaching my son to put the toilet seat down.
Oh yeah. Like, so that women don't have to deal with him not doing that when he's an adult. And
I was never able to really articulate why it bothered me beyond the fact that it felt like it's going to lower this kid's self-esteem severely to constantly be told things like, does she ever talk to this kid about what he should be valued for?
Well, like the job of raising a son in their mind is to fix the things that are inherently wrong with him due to his maleness.
But what I also realized is that this video would be looked at differently if it was a dad showing him. If it was a dad making, first of all, the dad wouldn't be making this video anyways, because the dad's just not going to make that. Maybe that's not necessarily true. So, like, if a dad,
the moms though,
if a dad made a video like this, like showing my son how to be a good man, I think that would be taken much more well. I think it would be taken better. Also, in all the videos, it seems like the videos are made because the mom is the star, not the kid, and she's doing it for internet clout for herself and using the kid as a pawn in it. And these types of topics, which are divisive amongst men and women, have infiltrated all level of online discourse that we have these days. Pumpkin spice latte is just the most recent of things that people make fun of, just like Gen Z, just like people. I wonder if these ladies would have a problem with all the millennials who make videos making fun of Gen Z slang. And whenever I see those videos, I laugh because I'm lucky enough to work around a bunch of Gen Z people, so I'm privy to the slang maybe faster than some would be. But at the same time, it's like, don't you feel like a boomer just like acquiescing in this way, like your parents did to you? Like, oh, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, you're actually outing yourself as the boomer your parents already were, because it's our natural instinct to make fun of other people.
Remember when the millennials lashed out at Zoomers on TikTok because Zoomers were making fun of how millennials always wear skinny jeans?
Yeah.
Like, it turned into an all-out war. It was about millennials always wear skinny jeans and have side parts.
Yeah. By the way, I would like
Zoomers have baggy jeans and middle parts.
I would like to call out all of the millennials who gave in
and started wearing
baggy jeans. Frankly, you're a disgrace to your generation.
Okay, wait. Look, I know that you say low rise is superior to high rise mom jeans, right?
Depends.
For most people,
depends on if she's fat or not.
Okay, but I think. I won't even get into that part.
Yeah.
But would you say that if it's a baggy jean, is it better if it's a low-rise baggy jean or a high-rise skinny jean?
Low-rise if it's khaki or not denim. High-rise if it's denim. I'm literally just making up my reasoning on the spot here.
Like, you would rather put up with it being high-rise if it's a skinny jean.
If it's a skinny, yes.
High-rise skinny jeans better than low-rise baggy jeans?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that more.
The worst is obviously high-rise baggy jeans. Yes.
Yes.
The best is obviously low-rise skinny jeans.
Let's go with that.
I'm glad we cleared that up for everyone.
It says duh, millennials wore baggy jeans. Like, some people like saw the pictures that I'd posted of me. Like, I wore like sweatpants that were like as wide as me. Like, when I was young, like, that's what all rollerbladers, all skaters wore, really, really baggy sweatpants. It was just the trend at the time. And it's like, I realized that I lost like pounds of weight from just being heavier than I needed to be in the middle of summer with like beanies and like ridiculously huge shirts on. The ridiculously huge shirts never really went away for me. I still wear the big shirts. But yeah, so like the thing is, women, at least the women who are really, really like uptight about this stuff, just don't feel like they should be criticized. But it's like, the problem is we've lost the good-natured ribbing that used to exist. Like, this should not be taken seriously. It's like,
think about this. Like, the goths of the 90s and the emos of the 2000s had to put up with being bullied so ruthlessly, so mercilessly for how they looked and the music they listened to.
And they probably made them stronger for it.
Yes, it made them into stronger adults who eventually grew out of those phases, for better or for worse. But think about how the Zoomer alt kids act now. They're incredibly fragile, can't take an ounce of criticism, can't take any mockery online. They're just too sensitive. They can't do it.
I think that part of that is also, I think part of it's also the fact that it is online. Like, when we talk a lot now, like, there is an interesting point where people who say like, they make fun of the people who say words are violence, because it's a ridiculous concept. But at the same time, those same people will mute people who won't shut up. Mm-hmm. Because it's your right to mute people who won't shut up and leave you alone. The idea that words are violence is different now in a digital age where you're tied to devices that you're looking at all the time than it was when you were younger, didn't have a cell phone, or didn't have like the internet at your disposal all the time. It doesn't make people any less soft for considering words violence, but it does kind of ignore the fact that we tend to come into a lot more criticism now than we ever did. Like, my generation, you guys come into it obviously as much as you've ever done for because it's been around your whole life. My generation probably comes into a lot more criticism now than they ever received when they were younger, because that criticism is coming online. And it was easier to deal with real world criticism because you get into an argument with someone. When the argument's over, you go your separate ways. On the internet now, it's not one person you're arguing with, it's tons of people you're arguing with, and you're being bombarded by things that are telling you you're bad or you're wrong all the time. It's not to say that it's not a lame take to say that words are violence, but I think it's unfair to pretend like the culture we live in now around language and around communication isn't vastly different than what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So a woman who was made fun of did the pumpkin spice latte exist in 2005? I have no idea.
It did, because
Okay.
it came about in 2003.
So if a woman, let's round up and say it's already become popular in 2008. A woman being made fun of for liking basic things in 2008 might have those jokes made about her on her Facebook wall. Like, I guess, right? But
She would joke about herself.
yes, exactly. Now, those comments come at you and people are putting way more stuff out there. And it's like when people make their posts on Instagram and then they're shocked by the people who come in to argue with them. It's like, well, what do you expect? Just post it without... turn comments off if you don't want people commenting, but you understand that your post's reach is going to be limited because you won't be able to get the engagement that you thought you were going to get. And it's like, what are some other things these days that people are made fun of for? I do kind of like the idea of how, like, I mean, not the racism part. That part is like really, really cringe to me. But to me, the part about saying it's misogynist, if they just soften the language to just like sexist, right? Because misogynist seems to indicate that it's men that are doing it. Sexist would indicate, I guess, that it's because it's about women, even though probably plenty of these insults come from women as well, who are the pick-me's who say, I don't like pumpkin spice lattes. I'm better than that, right? Plenty of women will make fun of you as well. That's fine.
Yeah, they'll say that's internalized.
That's almost
misogyny.
wholesome. The idea of like people just having to accept that they're going to be made fun of for wearing Uggs.
Yeah, but being made fun of for drinking pumpkin spice lattes and wearing Uggs is nothing. Like, while we're on the topic of pumpkin spice season and Christian Girl Autumn, I want to pay tribute to Caitlin Covington, who is the influencer known for popularizing this aesthetic, and really, like, she embodies Christian Girl Autumn, like, in and of herself. She is the icon of Christian Girl Autumn and pumpkin spice basic white girls. Caitlin Covington, when she got popular, got bombarded with messages saying, you're probably a Republican who hates gay people, and you hate trans people, and you hate people who are a different color than you. Like, she got, I'm not kidding. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but she got tons of comments accusing her of being a racist Republican homophobe because she is a white, feminine-looking woman that embraces basic aesthetics.
Yeah.
And she had to go out of her way to virtue signal to respond to those claims and say, no, love is love. I'm not hateful. I'm not Republican. I'm not this and that. Because these people are insane.
Yeah. And she should have never had to do that.
No. Yeah.
It actually kind of bums me out that she did respond.
Yeah, it did.
But I mean, there are certain things that are just not what the article says, coded a certain way.
Yeah.
And you're going to be judged a certain way for doing so. I mean, they were even saying that like Taylor Swift looks like, there was some people saying like Taylor Swift looks more at home with Travis Kelce because she just looks like a basic white woman with, with a jock.
She has been called racist for not having dated a black man before.
It's, I mean, like for her, it's different because it's like, this is like what you're going to have to deal with if you want to be this famous, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says, like, do you get how often do you go to Starbucks? Do you go to because I don't go to Starbucks.
I actually don't, unless I have like a gift card. I think I buy the food there more often than the drinks because it's just so shitty that it's like, I wasn't expecting anything great. Yeah. You know, like it's a safe choice.
Yeah.
But when I want coffee, I go to McDonald's.
There you go.
Do you get
Burns and then Sue?
No, I get the large iced coffee from McDonald's, which is 99 cents before 11 a.m.
There is a $20 super chat here from Hammy762. Says, Mary, I usually listen in the car, but I was watching Friday and saw you drinking a liquid death. Their website has a link to sell your soul and claims the drink is infused with real demons. Don't drink that shit.
Okay.
You've got thoughts on this, right?
I don't think that ad was real. I think that they were being edgelords and rage baiting people. Valid point, though. Yeah. And I have not purchased one since I became aware of that. I got one that was purchased by my boss, Timothy Poole.
Yeah.
So
it's his fault.
Basically, blame him. Bring that complaint to him.
I want to go back to this, like the last week. I don't know if you read this part of it, but this was the part of the Level article that really cracked me up. It says, after a careful read, it's clear that the article only hoped to raise awareness about the white privilege encoded in pumpkins in American society. And while jack-o'-lanterns are carved to make us laugh, the whiteness of pumpkins is no laughing matter. Like, this reads like satire. Remember, guys, the whiteness of pumpkins. See, my problem is they're orange. I'm the greatest pumpkin.
They're Trump coated.
Yeah, they're Trump coated.
Because they're orange.
Many people found themselves clutching their pearls at the audacity of scholars exploring such a topic. However, they're protesting because they do not believe the underlying construct that our society is inundated with white supremacy. What's funny is because I was reading, there was an article from Evie today that said, like, why is a bunch of money being spent on science, like on studying things that are common sense, which
like
is
what?
A big like. The headline was saying that, right? Mm-hmm. But like the idea is like they're putting all this money into trying to break down the things that are common sense here in society, like gender roles, like the differences between men and women.
Like
all
someone
of these things.
is a salaried, tenured professor getting paid to partly from probably government funding to study the whiteness of pumpkin spice lattes,
and then wonder why we're broke. As a society, why would we be broke if we are studying things like that?
Maybe we could afford such luxuries if we weren't funneling our money.
And I think you're right. I think it has to do with the fact that they're orange. I think that's a big part of it. They've got a problem with it. It's also clear. It's almost like elegantly done Marxism
it's the same color as a prisoner jumpsuit. Yeah. Which brings to mind mass incarceration.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.